Okay, pleased to be joined this afternoon by Western Kentucky women's basketball coach Greg Collins, and the student athlete from Western Kentucky. Joining us today is Alexis Mead. Coach Alexis, thank you both for your time today, and glad to have you in Huntsville, and really look forward to having you back in March of 2024 for the conference tournament. So Coach, if you want to just give us an overview of the upcoming season, and then we'll take some questions.
Thank you. We're excited about coming to Huntsville. We're excited because several reasons. One, it's a great location, but also it's a great location for our fans. And while last year we had a great tournament showing, got into the conference championship, sometimes our fans aren't able to get on a flight and get to Dallas or get to Frisco, Texas, but now they can make the drive south, and I think we'll have great turnouts for both our men's and women's teams in Huntsville this season. So we're looking forward to that. Looking forward to this upcoming season. Got some great returning players, and Alexis Mead is here with us today, and so I'm excited about the additions and the returners that we have. I like the work that they've done in the off season to get stronger and to grow together strong. So we're looking forward to really kind of seeing how good we are as we kind of get close to the start of the season.
Switching over to Huntsville, obviously about 3 hours from Bowling Green. Is that just another point that maybe you can sell the program on, is that you'll be able to play your postseason within driving distance?
We've tried for a couple years now, we've tried to make sure our non-conference games were more regionally based. They're not all regionally based. We're trying to make them regionally based. And so we're excited now that the conference tournament is also a lot more regionally based. So that now our fans can decide to come down and support the team on a semifinal game or a championship tournament game. And so that'll be a lot of fun. Often in Frisco when we're playing, we have fans, but a lot of our fans are following us either on TV or through social media. So now we can actually have them in the stands, in seats, and helping cheer them on to big wins.
Right. It's always a little bit relative in Conference USA. What helps you guys doesn't necessarily help the Western schools, but it's sort of a role reversal now. I think they benefited.
There's some truth in that, but it's not that El Paso, New Mexico State are that much. I mean, it's closer to Frisco, but that's still not a drive. That's still a flight. And so while now we're a lot more closely located to a lot of the fans from Murfreesboro, Jacksonville. And so a lot of the fans are able to reach Huntsville. So I think we're going to have a great turnout for this conference tournament.
Now, obviously, very much a new look Conference USA, but one thing that is the same is MTSU has picked to win this thing. After that, it seems like you guys obviously are picked second. But what is your kind of impression of Conference USA in this iteration?
Well, I think we still have a lot of the teams that finished the strongest last year are still present in this conference. I think you have UTEP, Middle Tennessee, Louisiana Tech all have strong teams, and they're still present here in this conference. And then when you add teams, Liberty did really well in their conference as well. And so I think we have a great competitive conference. Our focus right now is making sure we're ready for our close scrimmage, our exhibition game, and our first game of the season. And so that's really where we have to stay focused and get ready for the conference tournament. But I think that we have a number of teams that can compete at a high level in this conference.
Alexis, you're one of the returners on this team, preseason all-conference pick. Do you take that as a compliment? Do you take it as pressure, expectations? How do you feel about that?
I think I take it as a compliment, obviously, to everybody out there that voted, to get me on that list. It's not something that I really feel pressure on. It's something that, like I said, I take as a compliment. That stuff really doesn't necessarily, it's like a big thing for me. My main focus is just like Coach said, focusing on each game that we have coming up. Not as much as the accolades. Coach always tells us, when one person wins an award, the whole team wins an award. So that list, it was like something for me. Last year, we didn't have anybody on that list. We have not one player, not one WKU player on there for the women's side. So for us to have two people on this year, I mean, that's a big thing for us. But like I said, it's a team thing, something that we take as a team. We're taking it to the scrimmage, we're taking it to our first home opener, and so on. So
this is always, or the last couple of years, I would say, this has been sort of a guard-first roster, where a lot of your best players are guards. Is that the case this year? I mean, you only have one returning front court player back from last season.
Oh, I mean, we definitely have some bigger people than we had since I've been here this year. I wouldn't say that we're exactly like a guard-heavy team. I think this year we're kind of pretty balanced. I mean, obviously we're still a little smaller than most teams, but we did get some size this year. We got two incoming freshmen with Jalen and Caitlin, both pushing about 6'3". So we got some size down there. We still got Otis Betancourt out there. So as far as that, it being guard heavy, I think this year's a big difference. I think teams are going to see a difference in our team as far as how we play, and just having that presence down there.
Coach, it's definitely an interesting schedule. Kind of tell me about how you went about putting that together and just sort of go over what you guys are looking at.
I think it's one of our more challenging non-conference schedules that we've had maybe since the COVID team. And so we were really looking to challenge this team some and trying to prepare them for the conference play. We have a really good Mercer team to open the season with. They've always done super in their conference. And then we go on the road. We have some conference alignments with the WAC, and so we'll go and play at Southern Utah, and then we'll come back and have a home game, and then we go on the road again at Vanderbilt. And so it's a conference schedule, I think, that's going to challenge us. Each week. I don't think there's a whole lot of off games in there, off weeks in there. I think we'll have to be prepared each and every game. I think overall this team is a little bit more balanced from a size perspective, but our experience and our maturity is still in that guard position. And so that's where the leadership will come from. That's where that's why Lexi's here. A lot of the decision making will come from that position. But I think we'll also have a little bit bigger presence inside defensively, and maybe on the defensive boards should help us, which was obviously an area that we struggled with a little bit last year. We tried to overcome that in some other areas, but if you want to win a championship, you need to be able to keep that ball off the boards.
Right, just looking at the roster, correct me if I'm wrong too, but I think you got 3 forwards listed on the roster right now. Is that kind of a product of your players are more interchangeable and positions don't matter as much, or are you still just really rolling out a lot of guards out there?
Forwards they're basketball players, and that's kind of the key. That's what we look for. We don't look for players that are too narrow, and so we want them to be able to play basketball, and that's kind of the key. And so even though we have players that might be a little bit taller than some we've had in the past, they still have to play basketball. And so ultimately that's kind of how we play, the style of play. I like how we play. It's a lot more open court. That's why we led the conference in scoring, set records and made threes and steals and all that stuff. But that's really kind of gets back to just playing basketball. And we spend a lot of our time in practice working on those fundamentals and working on those actions, making sure we're making the aggressive reads. And I think that doesn't just come from one position. Whether you're listed as a guard or a forward or a center, you're a basketball player. And if you're on the court, then you got to play.
7 returners on the roster. In past years, that might have seemed like you lost a lot, but it seems like in this day and age, that's pretty typical that you're going to have players.
Yeah, I don't feel like we're in any different situation than the majority of teams. I think the exception might be teams that have a majority of the roster that returns. So I think one of the key things is what Alexis and the young ladies have done this summer, and they spend a lot of time building that team chemistry off the court, getting to know one another. I think that translates to aggressive practice, a good hard practice, but also just that never quit, never say die attitude when you're in a game, making sure that you can trust your teammate. And so they spend a lot of time doing that in the off season, getting to know one another, and that carries over. That might be how we're looking at the roster from now on. But right now, I'm excited about this group that we have.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about how has that been going? You feel like that progression's there, or would you like to see it speed up? How's the team come together?
See what speed up?
Just how they're coming together and adapting to the system with newcomers.
No, I like where we are. We compete every day in practice. I think our practices have been. We haven't had, I would say, bad practices. We haven't always played as well as maybe we wanted to play, but I think that we've had good competitive practices every day. Kind of like where we are right now. I think there's still room for growth, obviously, but I think right now we're getting close to where we're able to compete, and we just need to see where we are, maybe have some outside competition.
Have you guys had a chance to check out Probst Arena?
No, we've not been over there. We've been pretty busy with the Space Museum and our press conferences and interviews.
Yeah, Alexis, I wanted to ask you, did you ever want to go to Space Camp? Had you ever heard of it? I know you're quite a ways away.
Yeah, it's actually the first time I've heard of this. Didn't even know this existed, actually. So it's kind of cool being here and seeing all of this.
Yeah, what's your day been like? How have you enjoyed conference USA Media Day?
It's been well. We didn't have much in the morning. Our day started a little later, but watched film this morning. Went to breakfast and then lunch and, press conference and interviews. That's about it. Not too much.
I played Tipoff golf yesterday. I think she got a hole in one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much of a player, or was that just?
Oh, no, first try.
Well, that's a good sign. All right.
Yeah, I don't think they actually have holes on there. I was just joking. That was a joke.
Yeah. So again, just kind of an overview. Big second in the conference. Certainly a lot of respect from your fellow coaches. You feel like that's justified? You feel like that's where you should be, or you a little surprised at that high?
Preseason rankings don't mean anything. They mean nothing. 2 years ago, they had us picked last. Last year, I think we were picked sixth. Both seasons, we were contending for first. And so now we're picked. It doesn't mean anything. So we still have to continue to work hard and practice. We have to prepare and be ready for the first game.
All good? All right. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Alexis. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We look forward to having you guys back in March of 2024.
Looking forward to it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks. Who's running practice today?